From the Boston Bruins, we have head coach Bruce Cassidy. Media, please raise your hand if you have a question. We'll start with Matt Porter from the Boston Globe.
Hi, Bruce. Probably not the start that you wanted offensively, but the last two periods, you guys were getting your chances and shots. What do you think kind of shifted after the first 20?
I didn't think we were poor in the first 20. We just, we weren't on top of our game. Hands were a little behind, whether that's a 12 o'clock start or just Carolina coming out with a little more zip. Listen, we addressed it before the game that we needed to be solid away from the puck. So I think our guys were thinking defense too. Let Yarrow get his feet under him. It didn't work out exactly that way. There was a lot of shots, luckily from the outside. But then we got going. I think the power play goal obviously helps. It always gives you life. These close games in the playoffs, Carolina plays a very good defensive game. So I think that got us going a little bit. And after that, I thought we were, the better team and, ended up getting the win. And I thought we were full value for it.
Fluto Shinzawa from The Athletic.
Bruce, pregame, I'm sure that could have been a vulnerable time for players in terms of Tuukka not being available. What was your message to them?
Well, the message, we're not going to change the way we play no matter who's in nets. We've proven that with Yarrow here for the last, 2 years and now the playoffs. We know he's a capable goaltender. The only issue for us is Yarrow hasn't played a lot. So you want to make sure you allow him, like I said, a reasonable time to get back into game mode. So that was the message. Yarrow's a popular guy in the room. Guys want to play for him. And the next part of that message is it's playoff hockey. We can't be worried about who's in out of the lineup. We worry about who's in the lineup, just like we don't talk about Pasta when he's not here. When he gets back in there, he's going to be a good player for us and et cetera. But, the guys that are in there, this is how we're going to play. And it worked out for us.
Steve Conroy, Boston Herald.
Bruce, could you just take us through how you heard that of Tuukka's decision and how the players heard? And in a strange way, did it have a galvanizing effect, do you think, on the rest of the team?
It could. Very well could. Like I said, Yarrow's a popular guy, and they know his abilities. Now it could be his turn to have a nice run. I think it's in the back of everyone's mind. If we want to reach our goals, we're going to need a goaltender in there to help us get there. No team gets there without solid goaltending. So maybe this is Yarrow's year. Tuukka had a great run last year. So that's certainly something we can, rally around. But by the same token, it wasn't going to be the end of the world to have Yarrow in there. We wish Tuukka well with his family. But, we're here to take care of business today and again on Monday. So how I found out this morning through Donnie. I think Tuukka went and spoke with Cam and Donnie about his decision, and he relayed that to me. So not going to change the way we play, but it is, a bit of a shocker at first. It's your starting goaltender that, is a terrific goaltender. But again, Yarrow, we have faith in, and so a pretty simple sort of mindset to get in. He's our guy. Start getting Vladar or Lagasse ready in case something happens to Yarrow is the next challenge. That's it. We play and we'll kind of sort through it after the game, and here we are. And so I'm sure we'll have some discussions about if we have to change anything, but I don't think so. I like the way we played today, and we'll keep trying to do it the same way.
Kevin DuPont, Boston Globe.
Bruce, Don made it clear when he spoke to us today that this wasn't an overnight occurrence for Tuukka, that this had been, if lack of a better word, brewing for a while. So given that, were you trying to balance where he was with his head stuff, at home stuff, with how much work you gave him, and how to balance that out?
Well, yes. I think I have a good relationship with the players. I think we're a tight-knit group, all the wives and the children. That's the unfortunate part about one of the unique situations here this year, Kevin, with the playoffs, is we're not all together. And that is one of the, I think rewards of making the playoffs is you get the families, the kids, the wives, they're all together and in it together. And I think it's, there's good memories from that for everybody. So, but with Tuukka, I was aware that I know he had his third daughter this spring. And it was on his mind leaving here, and he wanted to get some things settled at home. But after that, it's his business, and I don't get into it unless he wants to discuss it with me, which I think every player is a little bit different that way. So I've certainly talked with Tuukka through training camp, et cetera, but he made the decision to come. So I assumed everything was good at home, but deep down that there may be a possibility, as Donnie said. So, but you can't dwell on that. We have a team to get ready. I know it sounds cold, but the professional part of it is we got to get a team to get ready to play for the Stanley Cup, and then still be there for Tuukka for whatever he needs. So that's what we're doing. And today we got to win. We need 2 more to win the series, and that'll be our focus. And I will certainly find time to reach out to Tuukka at the appropriate time, make sure that he's doing well and his family's doing well.
We'll do a few more for Coach Joe Haggerty, NBC Sports Boston.
Hey, Butch, just your thoughts on Charlie Coyle's game today. Obviously factored largely in 2 of those 3 goals, and just the solid way that he's played thus far in the series.
Well, we need Charlie Coyle to be an effective player for us, an impact player. He doesn't have to dominate every night. I don't think anybody does in our team. But, we still need secondary scoring. He went on the first unit. We've moved him and Jake around there. With Pastel, we got a new look with Marsh in front. We'll have to look at it, see how much we generated. I know we got a big goal out of it, and that's, to me, is timely scoring on the power play, not always the percentage. And today it mattered. Shorthanded goal. I think I understand they gave it to Crowley, but by the same token, Charlie was a big part of that, and he's added to our penalty kill. When he first got here, we didn't give him as much responsibility there. We had other guys in the lineup, but he's kind of pushed his way into that conversation. So good for him. That means he's playing, PK and driving a line with Jack Stadnicka tonight, a young guy. It was Bjork in the past. It's been Rich, who hasn't been here a long time. So the onus kind of falls on him to be the leader of that line. So that's what we expect out of Charlie. Play well in all those situations. Tonight we got some offense. Great. We need it. And again, proved himself last year in the playoffs, a guy that we can rely on, and he's proven to be that again.
Time for 2 more. Jimmy Murphy, Boston Hockey Now.
Hey, Coach, how are you? Going back to Tuukka, just, when you look at it, you know that he wasn't there altogether. He wasn't fully in it. And I'm wondering, just as a coach or as a team, I mean, is it better to know that you have a goalie that's 100% in it right now and, let Tuukka go sort out what he has to sort out?
Yeah, I think there's validity in what you're saying, Jimmy, that now that the situation has been, there's finality in it, and Yaro's our guy. And again, we've got to get a backup ready for Yaro. There'll be a little bit of competition there, but at the end of the day, as a coach, you want to try to trust your players' professionalism. They'll be ready to play. And I thought Tuukka practiced hard, played well for us against the first 2 games against Carolina. So, that part of it, you got to be a little bit careful as a coach, a veteran guy who's been in the league, had the run he had last year, Vezina trophy nominee, that he's a good goaltender and he'll get stuff squared away and use his time wisely to do that here. But again, I mean, family comes first, and that decision was made. So yes, then we move on. I know it sounds cold, but on the professional part of it, we have a job to do here. We move on. It's Yaro and Nets. And then be there for Tuukka, as I said earlier. So that's our game plan right now. Happy for Yaro, and I'm sure Tuukka is as well. They have a great relationship. So, and I'm sure he's happy for his teammates, Tuukka, that we got the win. So it's not like there's any animosity there. He's just trying to take care of his family, and we're trying to take care of business here in Toronto.
Last question, Matt Vittor, Mass Live. Go ahead, Matt, if you have a question. We'll give the last one to Dan Roach, WBZ.
Hey, Bruce, just a thought on the day itself. Obviously an emotional day for everyone. And how proud are you of the way your team responded, both physically and mentally, especially in the third period, the tough goal that Halak gives up. It just seemed to be that everybody rallied around him and got going again to shut Carolina down after that.
Yeah, Dan, that's a good word, proud, because that's the first word I used after the game, that, proud of Yaro for answering the call on short notice, proud of the young guys that are playing, some of their, like Lindholm, and not that he's young, but is, first real Jack Studnicka. Clifton comes into the lineup, proud the way they responded. And proud the way the whole team played. You're right, after Yarrow. He tried to get the clear. They read it well, but right away on the bench, Brad Marchand stands up. Hey, that's not gonna hurt us. We're fine. We're playing well. And it's true. The whole bench was like that. I think there was no collective letdown like, oh boy, here it comes. We knew we were playing our game, from the second period on. First period enough. We bent. We didn't break. But our guys knew when we have our game, when we're playing Bruins hockey. So that wasn't going to, deter us from keep going forward. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you got to keep playing the way you're playing. And I thought it showed. And again, a good response from our guys after a little bit of adversity.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.